Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Neon Eats podcast. I am OKPop Justin, and we're gonna be discussing about K-pop queer baiting. Ooh. All right, so let's start with the introductions. We should start off with the last person that came in. So say like your name, where you're where you live, like your favorite bias group, and like
should I say like my sexual orientation
that
as well?
too, because like everyone here is LGBT and we're talking about queer stuff.
Sounds good. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Jonathan Fink, but everybody calls me John. I am from Miami, Florida. I'm 32 years old. I've been into K-pop since 2012. When I found Shiny Sherlock. And I'm so sorry, guys. My birds just won't be quiet. They're wild animals. And my ultimate bias group is still Shiny. And my ultimate bias will forever be Junghyun, as you can tell by my background here. I am a homosexual man. Gay and proud.
Woo! Yes.
Was I supposed to say something else?
No. So again, we want to go to the next John.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. My name is John Norman. I'm from Austin, Texas. My favorite K-pop is a soloist, Boa Kwan. She's the first person that I listened to way back in, like, I think it was 2003 or 4.
Wow.
And then from there, like, started loving 2NE1 and, of course, Shiny, all those. I host a K-pop event in Central Texas. I'm in Austin, so I host events in Austin and San Antonio. They're the most attended K-pop dance events that are in the area, and been doing them for about 2 years now. And I'm a gay.
Hi, gay.
Hi, gay.
Hi there, gay.
Hello, everyone. My name is CD. You may know me online as CD and the Players. I am Black and gay. I'm from Central Virginia. I also have some residency in like southeastern Louisiana. So if I have any family watching, hi, don't hate me. I got into K-pop back in 2007 when I discovered this 5-member girl group called Wonder Girls. We had a song called Irony. And then I fell in love. My parents ripped my posters off the walls because they said it was annoying. I didn't care, put them right back up. After Wonder Girls, then I discovered Super Junior, Girls' Generation, then just fell down the rabbit hole from there. And it's just what do I do for a living? I had a lot of plans that I had different job titles, but I currently work full time as a professional astrologer. That was not the plan, but COVID. And before that, I was an event planner. I'm about to start doing events again. I host a K-pop night over at a Louisiana themed gay bar called Thirsties, and I'm about to start helping the Korean embassy with their next K-pop festival. So like,
wow,
Ooh,
that's awesome!
Can't wait for that. All right.
Oh, and I'm a Virgo, the greatest sign in the zodiac. Just saying.
Well, I'm a Libra.
Get out.
Oh, bye.
I'm a Virgo moon and rising.
I'm a Virgo rising.
It's not the same.
Okay, fine. Pisces sun. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, let's not zodiac shame here, okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
No zodiac shaming. Okay,
This is what happens when you put 4 gays in a room.
that's true. Well,
Yeah.
wait, am I gay?
I think so. You're in a homosexual relationship, at least.
That is true, but I can't consider myself as bi, but I'm more gay than that other
You're a
side.
little bit more gay.
Homo-flexible.
I'm a flexible oh yeah, I'm homo flexible.
That's a great term. Love that term.
All right, so let's start with the topic of K-pop and queer baiting. So what is queer baiting?
Are you gonna give
Who
the
are you
definition?
I mean, what do you guys consider as queer baiting?
I guess I'll go first. It's basically content or media created that kind of hints at homoeroticism or just homo situations without actually being homosexual. You see that a lot in like Japanese BL manga, like yaoi manga, where it's always just like two guys and they're straight, but they happen to fall in love with each other, but they're not gay, you know, they're just gay for each other.
Or a bromance.
And it makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And in K-pop mostly, since this is what we're talking about, we see it a lot in like their dance and choreography where they do suggestive dance moves, or they have scenes in their music videos where they get kind of close or their eyes linger a little too long, you know.
Maybe their outfits
just things
too.
that look homosexual just to like, you know, captivate a homosexual audience, but only for the clout, and not for actual like gayness or raising awareness of any kind. Does anybody agree with my
that actually is pretty good explanation about it.
Nailed it. Perfect. Good job.
Oh, thanks, John.
Yeah, they're pretending to be gay, but they ain't. That's my version.
Oh, that would have been the quicker response.
Well, I always have like a saying that's like everyone's bisexual until proven otherwise. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, I think I've proven it time and time again.
Have we proven that to be right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Or wrong.
So like, So I want to know, what are good examples of like queer baiting? Like which music videos, which groups, guy or girl groups? I know there's like a lot.
Well, the one that's of course on the forefront of my mind right now is the Libido
Yes.
video. You know, that one has been it's been really popular at the events that I do. Like everyone really loves it. But it's funny to me because it seems like they're taking the queer baiting to a whole new level. Like we've definitely seen it in videos before, like what Jonathan was just saying, where it's like they linger a little bit or they'll like, you know, graze their hand on someone. But this is like even further where they're like holding each other shirtless and like, you know, they're about to kiss. And so I think it's just really interesting now that they're like pushing the whole queer baiting agenda, which to me it's like a double-edged sword where it's like, oh, it's good that they're more comfortable looking gay. But then if you think about, you know, the context of the culture at large, it's like if they were actually gay, then everyone would hate them, or, you know, like there would be so much real like controversy with it. So I guess it's one of the things where it's like, I love it. Of course, it's fun to look at. But then you think about everything that surrounds it, or if the situation was just a little bit different, they revealed a little too much, pushed it a little too far, it'd be just like the floodgates would open for all this hate. So, yeah.
Yeah, we fall for it easily.
Yeah, we do.
The only thing that comes to
that video.
Yeah, the only thing that comes to mind, like the most immediate memory I have was I don't know if they're still together. There was this group called 4L. It was meant for four ladies, and it was provocatively lesbianist moments, and it definitely got bans. That's for sure. The song was actually fire, you know, and I think everyone was just so shocked just by how just like it wasn't even like yes, it was K-pop, but the thing that made everyone uncomfortable about it was just more so like, I'm going to throw my lady bits in your face. And it was just like, are the girls? And I think it was weird because we were just like, were the singers comfortable with this? Because you know how conservative Korea is, and how really started on the trauma that the Stellar members have expressed.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was thinking about that as you were mentioning the four ladies thing, because Stellar.
Like they were around the same time Stellar was like popping up in and out in terms of like their popularity. And it was just like, hey, we're going to make out with each other and just do the most. They had to change their entire choreography for television because it was that. Like, wow. Part of me wonders, like, would it even be allowed on American TV with the way it literally was just like, we are going to throw our lady bits all in your face, which is not necessarily a problem. Do whatever you want. It's just that, like, whose idea was this and why?
Yeah, I agree with CD because I feel like that's the biggest problem for me. Even when it comes to like skinship, like I've read articles that say that K-pop groups are encouraged, and when I say encouraged, I mean they are really pushed to do skinship with each other at fan events for the fans so that they can create ships, you know? And I think that's kind of, it kind of gets to a borderline where you start pushing these members to be in these uncomfortable positions just because they're trying to get more noticeable, like just noticed more for their group. And I just think that's kind of like, I don't know, like you're like selling yourself, you know, in a way. And I just think it's toxic. I really do.
Free Britney.
Yes, free her.
And if my memory is correct, what I think my hypothesis here is because I remember back in the day when I was a wee young lad, still am a wee young lad. I fell down the rabbit hole of like Super Junior skinship videos, but the difference is that, like, that was all them. Like even the members were like, we have to push Siwon off of us because he just will not stop. Like even Heechul was like, I have to shove Siwon off me. It is weird because the most homophobic member is the one
he's so Christian. He's so Christian.
Yeah, and in person, like, and I will admit, he is hot in person, and he's taller than I thought, you know. But like, the most homophobic member in the group is the one doing the most kissing on men, and it baffled me. But that was their natural state.
I think that makes no sense.
I know, and I remember Heechul, who would also kiss a lot of members. I could have sworn he was gay. Like I was like, he's gay, and then he ended up with Momo, and I mean, sure, he still could be bi, you know, but it was just like.
Well, I mean,
I just don't like to assume what's not being told to me. You know what I mean? Like if he never said, I'm a gay man, you know what I mean? And then ends up with a woman after doing all of this gay skinship, you know, I just kind of feel a little bit betrayed, just
disappointed.
I mean, and we were talking about examples of like K-pop music videos that have queer baiting, and like a few come to mind for me, like Vix's Fantasia. Was that the one where they had like the collars, the chokers on their neck? Was it? Oh, you're probably right. It was Chained Up. It was one of those.
Yeah, it was Chained Up.
They got really homoerotic. There was also Monsta X's MV. It didn't have homoeroticism. Don't remember which MV it was either. It was the one where there was like this strange orb at the end.
Yes, that song is escaping. That name is escaping from my head for some reason.
And they had this whole plot line that was like insisting that they were some sort of, I don't know, just cult gay thing. And I was just like, what am I watching here? You know?
Yeah.
And also Sulgi and Irene's Naughty. Oh no. Or Monster, the one before that one. The first one they came out with had a lot of homoeroticism in their dance moves as well.
What was the song even about? Because I think part of sometimes I know that like sometimes the lyrics may actually explain the dance moves, but like who reads English lyrics these days?
Nobody. I don't anymore, you know. But I just feel like, you know, there is a lot of LGBT plus people who are K-pop. I feel like the majority of people I know who are K-pop fans are LGBT plus, and we are contributors to this media, and we do spend a lot of time and money, and you know, kind of in the same vein that, you know, a lot of the Black K-pop fans call out K-pop for culturally appropriating Black culture and, you know, using blackface or using dreads or things like that. I feel like K-pop does the same when it comes to gay culture, where they use a lot of these gay scenes or just gay dance moves to try to look gay, to kind of create clout, but they're not really supporting LGBT people. They're not really calling out awareness for sexual minority groups. And I do feel like that's something that should be talked about, like a conversation should be had about that, so that, you know, not only are they doing it, but doing it because they want to show that they have support for the LGBT plus community.
But here's the question: what is gay culture in Korea, though?
That's a good question. I don't know, Justin. Did you experience gay culture in Korea?
I had a slight taste of it.
Okay.
Oh, not in that
Get
way,
that
but
later.
not in that way. Like, you know, I mean, I do have gay Korean friends, and I mean, I know like some things that they do, and like, you know, I know like they do. I see like lots of like drag shows happening too, but
is it like accepted, like openly? Or is it like more like in the down low?
I mean, it's still down low, but they still promote it, but it's more like in the Itaewon area, so.
Actually, just reminded me. I'm asking. So I'm a part of a ballroom house. We're called the House of Elite, and I say accidentally because I don't know, ended up in the Korean chapter. But our house father is. I'm going to say he's straight because he hasn't expressed any interest in men. So I'm just like, I'm going to say he's straight, you know? Okay. And however, like he does Vogue, like he does old way voguing, which is like it's more that whole tut random thing. And Vogue is becoming a thing in Korea. I don't know how many. Oh, he was in Super Junior's Black Suit. Actually, he was one of the backup dancers in Super Junior's Black Suit. But the segue into voguing actually came from whacking, you know, which is also both are like, I don't remember if I know voguing, I know where voguing came from. I can't remember if whacking was originally an LGBT plus dance form, but like, I know the segue for the culture to start forming in certain parts of Asia has been through dance and then obviously through drag, you know, but like, it's interesting because you will see a K-pop group voguing. You'll see you have drag queens and Girls' Generation. Brown eyed girls without a question. It's so like
And
brown eyed girls is for the gays
as well. Even though you know, but even in Shinhwa's This Love, their whole choreography was voguing. So I remember that, and I remember saying like, this is for the gays. Like this has to be for the gays. There's no way that they don't know where this dance comes from. You know, like so.
But Shinhwa has actively stated that all their ships are real.
Which one?
No, and I'm going purely based off of what I have been informed by the fandom. They say that all the ships are real. It is
for which group?
Of Shinhwa.
Really?
Not literally, and not in the literal sense, but like the members will very much so. And the thing is, like that's a part of their dynamic. But like the members naturally all do that. They will cuddle, they will kiss on each other. Like that is a natural part of their social dynamic, though.
And I'm okay when it's natural because I was actually having a conversation with someone about how in Korea or part of Korean culture, it's normal for you to be skinshipy with like your friends or your family. So I get that as well. But I do feel like K-pop has become like so globalized now that I feel like it's gone beyond we're friends, we're just being like cute and hugging with each other, you know? So I think for me it's important for these companies and these groups that they have these large platforms and they know that their fan base is largely LGBT, that they should use that platform to really start to raise awareness, not just for Korea, but, you know, for the world, because they're, you know, in some of these countries, I know that there are still a lot of anti-LGBT laws. And these countries have a large K-pop support as well, you know? And I feel like K-pop is like the biggest music market there is right now, you know, in terms of like album sales and MV views. You know, I know America's still up there, but I mean, like, I feel like K-pop has taken over, really, slowly.
It is, technically.
I know Japan is I know Japan's a strong number 2. They've always been like one of the biggest, which is still surprising considering how small the country is.
Yeah, because
they find a way.
Yeah, they don't let anything out of their country, but you know that they still have huge album buyers there. Like the album culture there is still very strong.
And I will say this as well. What I've noticed is that, like, again, like Super Junior, their skinship, even though it was like a lot. It was still a natural part of their group dynamic. And I realized that more and more companies are just making groups, and it's like, we need to find a way to make you popular. We need to think it by some. I blame who do I? Because I remember back in like pre-2000, 2012 and before, every K-pop group had that one viral hit. You know, like that's like the claim to fame. You know, but then after it kind of died down a bit. So it's, and then EXID kind of started this trend of like, you know, this one particular video causes this that's unrelated to like causes the song to go viral, or like a lot of zombie hits coming back up. So it's in a lot of groups, they don't have that same claim to fame anymore. They like in only how do you say the name again?
Yeah, only one of, that's the name.
Yeah, like I didn't even know I knew they existed, you know, but they're one of those groups where it's like I saw their name, they're on Music Core somewhere. I'll see them eventually. Oh look, they're on Simply K-pop, but like mostly international people watch Simply K-pop, you know. So it's like,
right,
yeah.
And then I see them all over the place because there's gay stuff now, and I'm like, oh, all right then.
Yeah. Well, John, what do you think?
I thought that Libido was their like first song. I'd never heard of them before that. So whatever they were doing with that one, it worked because now they're on my radar.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first came into K-pop back in the day, I thought they were like all K-pop groups were gay, and I thought gayness was heavily accepted in Korea because of how friendly these members were being towards each other, you know. And then later on, I found out that that wasn't the case at all, and it was, you know, to my surprise. And I remember telling myself, it's all a lie. It's not true. Korea must be the most gay-friendly country there is. And then, you know.
Yeah, it was very confusing because especially when we first got into it, it's like compared to American culture, they're very open with like gender expression for men.
Yes.
Like they all had makeup on and they all had frilly shirts and everything. And yeah, they're very touchy-feely in comparison to American men. So yeah, it felt like, oh, this country, who knew? They're very, very open with everything. And then you find out later that that's not necessarily the case. It's like they're very open with all that stuff when it comes to putting on a show, but with regular Koreans, it seemed that it was like totally the opposite case.
So, yeah.
There was one example. When I add to that, there's this group. When they debuted, their song wasn't that popular, but in their live, they made adjustments to their outfit to make it look, you know, sexy. And it was, well, a.c.e, because
the shorts,
the Cactus song, it wasn't that popular until like when they performed live, and it was the shorts.
Yeah.
And like they were showing off like their nice legs. So that was like, okay. So that they kind of got the people's attention because of that. And like also like their other song, Take Me Higher, some of the members were wearing crop tops. And I think that was like the first time I see like guys like in a K-pop music video wearing crop tops. And I think like it became like a trend afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first got into SHINee, and I remember watching the Sherlock video, and you know, Taemin with his long extensions and Key with his nail art. You know, it was just like, wow, these guys are fabulous. Like, look at that weave. Look at that nail art. Like, I was just so enamored by how they looked. And then I found out later that, you know, neither of them that we know as of now are gay, even though I'm still holding out for Key. You know, I'm still waiting for the day Key finally comes out. But, you know, same thing happened with me and Heechul. But, like, I don't know. Like, are you guys okay with, like, the way queer baiting is? Like, does it bother you at all? Because it's sometimes, like, at this point in my life, it annoys me. It really does. You know?
I would say, like, I have a love and hate relationship when it comes to that specific, when it comes to queer baiting. Because it's like, oh, you fall for it. But I'm just like, wait, but these guys are just mostly most of these guys are most likely straight.
Right, they just want my money.
And they just want la mula, you know. but I do know, because I actually follow Ace. Recently, Ace is there's a now. Okay, let me talk about because now Korea is now having a trend of BL dramas. Now,
Yeah.
So there's this new BL drama that came out, and Ace, it's making the original soundtrack the main theme song for that show. So I'm just like, oh wow, because I don't know, because I kind of feel like they do have like a good how do I say, I think they do support LGBT, but there's some groups like you don't know for a fact. I mean, there are some like K-pop idols that have showed support for LGBT, like I know like Taeyeon from Girls' Generation, also well, of course, Jo Kwon.
Yeah. Oh,
do we really think Joe Kwon?
I mean,
he's been out
We're-
without being out.
yeah, exactly.
Turns out like another Heechul, I'm done. Like my gaydar is just
Exactly. The thing is, like, they didn't say they were gay, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, he supports it because
That's the epitome of like we already know.
yeah, we already know.
It's like when Ricky Martin came out, it was like, oh, wow.
He was waiting for you at the door, friend. Where you been?
Yeah. Or when Barry Manilow came out, I'm like, didn't he already come out? Didn't that happen already?
No, Barry Manilow's gay.
Right? Shock.
What is fascinating to me though is that like if you compare like gay culture in the U.S. versus Korea, like Korea at the end it's a South Korea is a homogenous country. I was like, wait, hold on, wait. I had to but like it's a homogenous country. So, but they've had a lot. But if you notice, this is probably me speaking from a minority perspective. They've had a lot of outside interferences from other countries, and so at some point in time, you have to separate like the Western influence of gay culture versus the culture that was already there in Korea from the get-go. So like for example, like obviously I met Archie Ninja. And for those of you who don't, Archie is if anyone watched Paris is Burning from the House of Ninja.
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember I've seen
those houses is where Madonna got voguing from. So
exactly. Like I've seen these
extravaganza.
Yes, like I've seen these people go to Korea and like teach people like these dances and whatnot. But again, like I think they're called the House of Quiche is like the biggest Kiki house. And there's the House of Quiche, the House of Yes. These are all Kiki houses. Like they are the authentic, like Korean born Vogue houses. And again, I don't know how many, like, again, I don't know the gay to straight ratio because some people will Vogue in Korea and be completely straight. Like I just saw Rocky, I saw a Rocky Horror Picture Performance. I'm just like, if Rocky Horror is here.
Yes.
Because it's Korea.
Full transvestite situation there.
Yeah, and like but nowadays whenever I look at, even with BL dramas, I look at that, I'm like is this actor straight or not? Like how much of this is acting and how much of them is just like replicating their own experiences into the character, like how much of this is like being pulled from real experience and how much of this is just like, okay, I looked up what gay mean and look what gay couples act like how much of this is authentic. Like what is his name? I know his American name is Tony. He was like one of the first, I think if not the first, like openly gay Korean celebrity.
I know you're talking about the bald guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why you gotta be bald? I'm joking. And I think he was like he had like a career exile for a hot second, and then I think from what I think he came back through capitalism in a way. It's like he not literally, but like he has all these restaurants he owns now in Seoul, and it's kind of like he still is a celebrity and he is on TV, but like I maybe seen like one or two chances where he's made like he's usually like the gay uncle giving you advice, and then occasionally he'll be like, "Oh, he's cute," and they're like, "No, you can't have him, Tony." But like he doesn't get like characterized that way, but like that's usually how he shows up in the reality TV show.
And it just sucks because like where you could name the only gay celebrity in all of Korea, you know what I mean? Like imagine how difficult it is for other people who are celebrities and don't want to come out because they saw what happened to this person and they don't want to go through that, even though he came out of it okay. But, like you said, it's still a burden he has to carry, in his career. So
Yeah, I was gonna say because also like we also have Holland, which he's like technically the first openly gay
John
K-pop
loves
idol.
I love Holland.
Yeah, I love him too though. He's sweet. But anyways, I don't want to keep talking about that. But anyways,
You don't?
no, I mean like I don't want to keep saying like how cute he is. No. I just mean like I don't want to keep talking about like how cute he is. But when he came like when he started his career, he literally just came out like, and because of that, he cannot perform in any like music shows. He cannot go to any other companies because they don't want him. Just because he's gay. So
Wow.
I think didn't his music video it take like 3 years for it to get approved for even just television broadcast?
3 years?
I don't know about that. But also I remember his first comeback, the music video that he had, it was marked on YouTube 18 plus and over, even though they had nothing sexually, any adult content besides just gay kissing.
That's a problem we even have here in America, unfortunately. Like when it comes to like gay content, it's like, oh, parents, guard your children. It's like,
yeah, same thing in Korea.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just like even. I mean, I know this is getting a little bit off topic, but just saying like even in places where there are families and there are kids, like if you're with your significant other, your partner, it's kind of expected that you guys don't hold hands or kiss in front of kids or show any affection, because like parents will be like, oh, don't do that in front of the children, So it's just crazy how, especially in Korea, gay media is kind of seen, or just gay, just two men showing love for each other is seen as almost pornography. It's just kind of
gay
crazy
anything, gay anything.
And even then, like if you think about it, like whenever people talk about skinship, honestly, because my observation, whenever I saw skinship, I never saw it as this is for the gays. I'm like, oh no, these are for the female fans, because most boy groups have like that large. Like, yes, like for example, like I know, like when I was watching 17's pre-debut stuff, like they were actively trying to get more male fans. Like they didn't even question the female fans because they knew that was a given. Like I will see boy groups where I'm like, I know most, not all these members are straight, but they will actively like I was watching the first time I saw Uptension on After School Club. A male fan came up and they were like, oh my God, it's a guy. Like, they were geeking more than the fan was, and I met Uptension, and yes, they still do it for male fans, so I can't complain.
Yeah,
so, like
that's true, because like I think John and I, we kind of like had an experience too.
Which John?
With Florida John. Florida John, because we went to Dallas, Texas to see GOT7.
Yes.
And like they were so happy just to see like male fans like in the front rows and in the high touch, and like I don't know, because they like that. Even like I met also BTS in Dallas, Texas like 6 years ago. I did a high touch, and like V was like, I was like the first guy in the high touch row, and then V was just like, he was the first one, and he was just like, hey cowboy, and I'm just like,
oh God,
cowboy. It's like he probably thinks I'm from Texas, but I'm just like, okay, no, I'm just gonna be like, hey, howdy, and then just keeps walking.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you remember, John, at the Shiny fan meet in Dallas, because it happened in the fan meets, both fan meets in Chicago for Shiny, the fan meet in Chicago, the fan meet in Dallas, and Shiny World 5, where every time
did you go to all those?
Would have like a speech part, there would be this one fanboy who would scream, Junghyun saranghae, and Junghyun would recognize him every time. And Junghyun is also
yelled at you.
Huh?
If you have someone yell that at you, of course you remember them.
I mean, yeah, but he was very sweet to him, and he'd always point out at him. And Junghyun also has had showed support for the LGBT community as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys know, but he did post a letter that a trans woman had posted up about a wedding that she attended. It was a gay wedding in Korea, where I don't know if you guys know that the weddings in Korea are like an open thing. so people like can come and go whenever.
Yeah.
And like these protesters went to this gay wedding and started throwing garbage on the stage of their wedding, while they were doing the ceremony. So the trans person posted a letter on Twitter, and Junghyun made it his profile picture. But then that brought a lot of attention to the OP of the letter. So Junghyun had to go out and say, he reached out to the person openly and say, hey, I didn't mean to cause this attention to you, but I really wanted to show that different doesn't mean wrong, So yeah, as Justin was saying, there's a ton of, or a handful, I would say, of idols who do support the LGBTQ community openly. But I wish that it wasn't such a stigma, especially since they are, queer baiting us, essentially. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And also, as of like right now, during this moment, South Korea has, there is an anti-discrimination bill that has not been passed yet, and they're trying to push it to make it pass, but all of these Christian cults in South Korea are trying not to pass it. They're trying to block it because it's not just only for like anti-discrimination against like foreigners, because that's also like part of the bill. It's like foreigners, but it also involves even women too, but also it involves also like sexual minorities as well, and that's why they don't want to they just want to block that bill. Wow. So that's and a lot of people and a lot of like foreigners and also they wanted to like make it pass, but it's just there waiting in limbo to see if it's gonna be passed or not. So like as of right now, we don't know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah. Well, let's hope for the best.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. I really hope so.
And really go out of way to support more like LGBT plus people who are like in Korea, like Korean citizen, because I think because I notice in a lot of homogenous countries, especially those who have been like subject to Western influence, you hear that common thing of, oh, this is a Western thing, or the West brought this in, or foreigners brought this in. And I think and I think that the downside is like, even though it's great to have that Western influence, at the end of the day, the people, the LGBT, like the gay Korean population, LGBT plus in the country need to be the loudest ones.
Yes.
Because only they are the main ones who can bring this to the forefront, because they just see foreigners in that argument of, and Korea's had a lot of issues with outside countries coming in there and messing with them. That's what, like, why do you think there's that split we have right now?
Yeah.
Because of outside influence, and it's like, how do I say, in a way, like, it needs to be as authentically, and I'm not saying this to be like Korean nationalism, but like
right.
it needs to be homegrown, so that way Absolutely. It can be something. Yeah, so it's the most authentic self possible.
It needs to be a fight from within. But it's hard. Like I said, K-pop is becoming more globalized, and it's introducing Korean culture to more countries and bringing in more foreign tourists. I mean, of course, not right now because of COVID. But I mean, I do think that hopefully more exposure to foreign ideologies, maybe not too many, will help move the national gay community and also the allies to show more support towards those LGBT minorities in Korea.
Yes. And also, I want to point out a thing that CD said about like Western influence, because that's more recent. Because way before, when Korea was getting influence from Western culture way before, they brought in like the anti like LGBT sentiment like in their country around that time. Because before, I mean, even way before, like even before Joseon, during like the Three Kingdoms like time period, there was some sort of like, there was like some, I always say, like, I wouldn't say gay, but like there was some like homoeroticism like poets, especially during because I read about this and I'm trying to like remember it. Like I might be butchering some names or I'm saying wrong names, but I know during like, oh, what was that? Oh, okay, I know it was during the Three Kingdoms, but like those warriors, are they called like the what were they called? Like they wear makeup. And okay, you guys don't even know what I'm talking about.
I know that there was like a period piece drama I forgot what it was called.
No, if it's
kind of
no, if it was a period piece drama that was kind of gay, it's not accurate.
Okay, never mind.
Because it was, oh my god, what was that TV drama that had like, V, Baekhyun, and they were like warriors, but they were all men.
with Minho too.
Yeah, what was that one?
Harurang or
what was it?
Mayang?
The Hwarang. There we go. The Hwarang.
Yeah.
So the Hwarangs, what people don't know about is that some of them were actually gay. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, but like, of course, like Korea's gonna take that piece off of history and be like, oh, we worship the Hwarang because of their beauty and like also like their fighting skills, and that's how like Taekwondo came from, supposedly. Yeah, but like, there was actually I read about like there were also some like some of the Hwarang were also like poets, and they talked about like, the inner circles, of they had like traction to like the other guys, sexually. So that was like, whoa, that's something I did not know about. But it's a possibility, because even like in China during the Han Dynasty, like homosexuality was also a big thing at that time too. So but of course they always block that out from like history books because of colonization and westernization. So
Oops.
Well, I don't know. Like in terms of what I hope will happen in terms of queer baiting, like I will say that when I first came into K-pop, I was someone who was involved in like shipping culture and reading the fan fictions. But
Same.
as I got a little older and a little wiser, I got a little tired of it because I saw it as stagnant. I saw it as something that wasn't really improving or changing. It was the same thing. Just the same type of queer baiting, no growth in knowledge of sexual minorities and how to help them. So I don't participate in shipping anymore or any of that. And it's also very toxic to the members themselves. Some of them don't even like to be shipped like that, being put in these relationships with their members.
There's some that they do though, but
I mean that's great, but sometimes they kind of feel uncomfortable about it,
I can imagine people trying to ship me with my coworkers. That'd be so uncomfortable.
Exactly. And then like some of them bring them up at like, like live fan meetings or in person, and it's just kind of weird. Weird. And
I bet.
Also, I know that there's different variables that go into play when it comes to idols and dating. I know people don't want them to date anyone. They want them to be single and celibate forever.
But they find ways.
I think shipping culture also plays into that toxicity where they only think, oh, Oppa can only date who I ship him with and nobody else, So
this actually brings me to, and sorry, I swear I'm not pulling this out of thin air, because like for my senior capstone project and I'm sorry, my roommates babysit dogs, so there's like they're lovely. They're just barking at whoever walks by. There's the capstone project I did. There was this lady on Twitter, and she was posting about how certain companies will specifically market their idols, and this is just on a straight people case. They will specifically market their male idols as sexually vulnerable, sexually available, and they will specifically capitalize off of the emotional vulnerability of these of adolescent women and young adults. Not the idols, but like that's how they're being marketed. In the "come save me and I'll be your boyfriend," or "let me be your boyfriend, I'm so innocent," or because you've seen with idols throughout the years how the idol man hasn't presented. Like I come from the generation where 2PM and M Black, which is like
yeah,
but then you compare that to like 217. These are obviously two different brands of idol, but it's still the same caterance in a way. Like I have never seen a collection of male like I've seen like Asian communities here in the US them mimicking these male idols, but I've never seen a group of like male boy group fans specifically who are like, we stand these groups because we love their music. I mean like for rappers, yeah, you know, but like how often will I like I'll never like I'm the only Super Junior fan that I know, you know, but like who's like a hardcore elf, you know, but it varies to person. Like, and so like for example, as of right now, it's a lot of it is catering to a female audience. A lot of it is the fantasy. It's essence. It's the Pisces-ness of it all, as I like to say, since that's the sign of dreams, illusions, and fantasies. You know, that's the only word I could use at the moment. And so like some of it, it's like, but this is where's the reality in it all? Like,
right. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
And so like even with like for example, if only one of catered to a gay audience, then why is it when we watch their shows we only see girls?
Yeah,
you know, when if well, we know brown eyed girls is for the gays, that's without question, you know, but like you know, and then we see, because we think that whole I don't know what this fan culture is called, but for example, like at like a Twice show, you would hear mostly men in the audience, you know, for certain girl groups, you would hear mostly men in the audience. Yeah, but no, it's like the uncle fan culture, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Girl groups have many older men as their fan base, and they're always like screaming in husky voices at, you know.
Yeah.
It's just very noticeable. Kind of something similar to like the Japanese culture as well. It's the same thing. You know, but I love them for that. I'm also an older gay, you know, fawning over these like 20-something-year-old gay guys. I wish K-pop idols.
We just exposed them. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, so I mean, love that for them, but it's just, you know, it's definitely all fantasy driven. It really is, and it is marketed towards a certain group of people who buy into these fantasies. Absolutely. But that's the problem. It's not for us. You know what I mean? It's not for us gays. It's gay, but it's not for gay people. Yeah. You know?
And they're forced to stay within the realm of these fantasies. Remember when any Super Junior, like when Sungmin got married, people were like demanding he get kicked out from Super Junior. Like when any boy group member girl groups have this too. Like when any member expresses that they want to get married or they're in a relationship, it will like they had like the fact that SM had to sit down with EXO to talk about Chen getting married. You know, that scared me. And they were like, we don't want to lose any more members. I'm like, yes, completely fair. I'm tired. I'm so tired.
I'm tired too.
You know? Yeah. And so like the fact that had to be a conversation, which was concerning. And it doesn't help the fact that like a lot of boy groups are on a limited time, because it's like how long before you go into the military? You know, they're lucky if they get a member who's like, and I remember JJCC, that's been a while since I heard that name. They had a member who was already gone and come back from his military. He was done. He was their main vocal, you know. So, smart move, can I just say? You know?
Yeah. Well, I will say that in Only One Of, I actually do like this group. Do I know that they queer bait? Absolutely. But that's what I say that it is. A lot of people will fight you tooth and nail and say that it's not queer baiting, you know? But I know what it is. I call it out. But anyway, you did mention the one member who did the military enlistment from JJCC. They have a member who's almost in his 30s. Yeah, and KB, he already got his enlistment out of the way, so he doesn't have to enlist, and he's a snack. I'm sorry, I had to say that. He is delicious.
He went there.
I'm sorry.
John, Texas John.
What about me?
I said, what do you think?
I love it. It's great. Were we talking about what do I love about queer baiting? Or what do I think about it? What's going on?
Do you love queer baiting, John?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need more of it. I usually don't think too deeply about it. I'm like, oh, this is fun, cool, good. And yeah, it is mostly for girls, which I guess is a problem. I don't know, but I think it's all good. I don't know. It's all in fun. I usually don't think about, you know, everything surrounding it, you know. But yeah, I'm for it. I think we need more of it in this world.
Hold on. I'll word it in a language that maybe will help you understand. So imagine being under a very strict entity that controls your entire career and says that like you have to make out with your members to get money. You're not allowed to date. or if you try to date, you have to ask permission from the company to date, and everything is regulated. You know, it's almost like a very specific free a certain pop star movement I've heard in the past or something.
Oh,
like Juan, I think like Juanjo's somewhat going through this right now, even though his company I'm sure is treating him well. Like Juanjo is in a position where he has great music, but his main attraction is he's a sex symbol. That is his main attraction, you know? And he's also a Pisces, I just remembered. You know, and so like
he is.
Yeah, and part of me has always been curious, like, okay, but what if he lost all that weight and was just not
I have
sexual?
said the same thing because okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about it because I feel like, you know, Juanjo has a very dedicated fan base and I don't want them coming after me, you know?
Oh no, I'll say it. What do you want? What is it about? I'll say it.
I just think like I see his Instagram photos. I'm sorry. These poses that he makes, these thirst traps that he makes, like I have never seen straight men do these poses, okay? I have never seen them do this pose. And I am waiting. I'm going to say, I am waiting for the OnlyFans, really. I'm waiting for the OnlyFans link to like come out because like at this point, I only think his fan base is there for the thirst traps. That's all.
I don't think I've ever heard a song of his. I just know the Instagram.
It's the long socks for me.
The long socks, the booty shorts, or are they even shorts? Are they just underwear? I don't know, you know? With him laying down on his back with his legs in the air, you know, I'm just like, okay, you know.
Are you a bottom? Like, no, I'm kidding.
Exactly. Like, you know, I mean, I wouldn't ask him if he's verse doing those poses. Like, I wouldn't even think twice. I'd be like, okay, do you need a butt plug? Like, here you go.
Sir.
And then like normally I wouldn't think that, like usually I'd be like, because you know I grew up in the era watching Britney and Madonna and Gaga make out with women on stage, and I'm just like, this is normal, like in my brain at least, because I'm just like, I'm just not going to question this,
right?
Know? But then at the same time, it's like I can't comfortably demand the fantasy be presented to me while like there's this one Korean influencer I follow where he was like, he'll be, how do I say? Well, 1 minute he's homeless because his parents threw him out. You know, and he's still scared. And even though we all know he's gay, he's still very scared to talk about it. Like he's come out. Like he's come out in the sense where it's like, it's, you know how like indirect they can be with how they explain things. There was a vlog I was watching. This is kid born and raised in Korea, you know, and like I just see him walking in the street talking about how scared he is to just be himself, you know, where it's like you turn around and you see like, okay, guys, you're gonna make out now for the fan service, where it's like these are two straight guys who are getting paid to be gay, you know, where the actual gay kids are ducking and diving and sneaking out to gay bars.
Yeah,
where it's just like,
absolutely. Yeah, you make a very good point. Absolutely, it's okay to be gay as long as you're not really gay, you know, and you're just doing it for the performance aspect. But when you're actually gay and trying to live your life as a gay man, you're hate crimed and shunned for it. I completely understand that. I was bullied in high school, you know, severely. So I understand, you know, why it's important to just give us a little nudge, give us a little wink, something, you know, to show us that you are not only trying to get our money, but you also show some support for us as well and our struggle, you know?
Very well said, John. So also I would like to tell you guys, I don't know, there's this group that I had my eye on, but I only saw like one music video, but then I see like their TikToks and Instagram. They're called NOM. I don't know if you guys heard of them.
Nom?
Yeah.
They dance with the high heels, right?
Yeah, they
them.
They do the Vogue and then the high heels.
They're
and
straight, aren't they?
It's kind of hard to tell, honestly.
I thought they were straight.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, but like I just like found out about them. Like I knew about them, but then I got back into finding out about them like through TikTok and Instagram, and I'm just like, they're still posting like all these stuff, but it could be queer baiting, or maybe they do like doing this stuff.
They seem just like, hi, I'm from this group. I'm like,
Yeah.
so like, and then you just it just gets gay. It just gets gay.
Yeah.
Or femme fatale. I'm just like, I'm so.
But also like there are like, okay, there are like, because I do watch some like Korean like gay vloggers, and there are like some like Korean guys are pretty masculine, like the gay types. So yeah, so but like then like when I look at them, it's just like, but they look straight though.
Well, I mean, maybe because they're trying to, because in the society they live, they have to try to like act a certain way. I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there are masculine gay men.
Yeah, exactly.
True. I mean, absolutely, they do exist.
But so like, I'm saying like like for Nam, like there's like, I think like one guy's the most masculine one, but then like there's some that are kind of like borderline, masculine and androgynous.
Basically the same way that 2 a.m. is set up, where you have the one genderless Jokwon, and then just dudes.
Yeah. But in this case, it's just like one masculine one, and then like two of them are just genderless. So supposedly, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyone? Just sidetrack here. Anybody watch Thai BL dramas?
I do not.
Okay, then never mind, because it wouldn't make any sense.
Well,
But
that I do. I've watched a few of them. You turned me on to it.
I know, and I should turn all of you on to it because, like, yes,
I watch a few. Don't worry.
Yes,
my whole thing is that I watched a couple of them, and then they all have the same plot and same whatever. So like, I've already seen this.
Yeah.
They're getting better, and they do or they have started lately raising awareness for LGBT minorities, because Thailand is a very gay-friendly country in Asia. Mm-hmm. So
I've noticed.
See, that's all I want. Yes, more like gay media, but like be nice to the actual gays.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's why I'm watching that's why I'm watching like Korean BL dramas, so like I just support them. And like,
yeah, but they're not. Are they homosexual in those dramas?
The thing is, like we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. Like,
not even just the actors. I'm talking about like the characters. Like, do they say yes, I'm gay?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Like the one I just mentioned now with like the with the original soundtrack. Now like this story, I forgot what it's called. It's called Light on Me. This story is now becoming like a love triangle between two guys, within like three guys. So that's like a new concept I've seen like now in the Korean BLs, because the other Korean BLs I've seen before, now it's a love triangle. But now it's a love triangle, but I never seen that in a Korean BL, because previously it's just two guys, but then they're trying to find out like, do we like each other, or like I do have feelings for you and all that stuff, or just like caught up in the moment, and it's like, oh. So but then this one is like, one of them is like, for like, one of them was like gay, but it's secret, and like some people know about it and they're trying to bully him, and like he has to like do all their bidding for them. And the other one is like trying to figure out himself. It's like, oh, why do I feel different from everyone else?
Blackmailing him, you mean?
I think it's like some group of bullies are trying to like blackmail him. If you don't do what I say, then your secret's gonna be out.
I'll out you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like another guy that he's like, I think he knows what he wants, and he wants to like hit it off with like the guy who was unsure of himself. And
what's this drama called?
It's called Light on Me, and it just came out just recently. So it's only 4 episodes, and they're planning 16 episodes. It's a web drama. So it's actually...
It's not on Gaga Ulala, is it?
No, it's on Viki.
Oh, so
and I think WeTV.
You just reminded me. There's another drama. There's a Korean movie which perfectly describes what we're talking about. It's called Method, and it's
I saw that
movie. Yeah.
I saw that. That was, I was like, it's the thing is like, it's not BL. It's not BL to me.
That's the thing. The entire it perfectly captures that blend between what's real and what isn't, because it's
yes.
Like, they're two men who they're playing gay characters, but then the lines get blurred, and there's like, wait, are we just method acting here? Because again, like it's
And so my gripe with that movie is that the director came out. She's a female director. She came out and she specifically said that these characters were not gay or LGBT in any way.
Exactly.
So I don't know if she said that.
It's like a whole mind fuck.
I don't know if she said that because like she didn't want to put any bad press on the movie, you know.
Probably. It's safe to assume she did, but
I mean, that's what the conversation around that was when she said that, because it was obvious that I mean
they did some homosexual acts. So
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I asked, if these K-dramas, these KBL dramas, do they openly say that they're gay? Because I have seen, I mean, it's getting better now, but I have seen BL dramas, Korean, Japanese, and Thai, where it's like, I'm not gay, I'm straight, but I'm only gay for you. You know what I mean? You're the only man that I really
love is a spectrum.
Yeah.
No, but it's not even about love as a spectrum. It's like, you are the only man on that spectrum. And I only like women. And I'm just like, huh? It just doesn't. I don't know. I get if love was a spectrum, and I get like if they had said that, like, yeah, love is love. Love has no borders. Love has no boundaries. And great. But they specifically said, I'm straight,
Mm-hmm.
But are these concepts that are taught to Korean gay youth growing up? Or is it taught
I don't know.
Exactly.
I wouldn't think so.
No, definitely.
But
not.
I mean, I'm not Korean, and I can't say that for sure. I would hope so. I really would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that these new BL dramas also have these discussions as well. Unless they do have gay characters like that are openly gay, so therefore the discussion is implied.
Yeah, they just have to be bear with that because the last Korean drama I saw that had a gay character, it didn't end well for him. So
that's the other thing. It's always a tragic story for the gay man.
Yeah, apparently he just goes into drugs and then goes back to jail.
Or gets. I mean, in general, he gets AIDS. He gets beaten up to death. Some sort of tragedy, because to show to be gay is tragic. And I'm having a great time as a gay man. I'm having a ball, like where's the story about us gay men?
We're all fab.
The time of our lives, and are not just the gay best friend, All
right, so I'm about to wrap it up because we're right past an hour already. All right, so thank you guys for joining me on this episode.
Thank you.
This was actually a fun topic. Don't you think so?
I definitely think so.
Okay, yes. All right, so thank you guys for watching and listening to this podcast, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out. Bye-bye.